Hey everybody. In class we practice solving equations using addition and subtraction. Right now we're going to practice solving these same types of equations but in situations that are a little more complicated. For instance, if you look at my first example here, 2 equals 1.3 plus a plus 4. This looks a little more complicated than what we were working on in class today, but if we follow these two simple steps, we'll be able to solve them just fine. First thing we want to do is simplify the equation, write the equation as simply as possible, and after that, solve it using the tools that we were working on today. So to start, I'm going to go ahead and draw my line down through the equal sign, make sure I have my two sides nice and separated. And then I want to use the skills we were using before when we were simplifying expressions. And in this case, we want to combine like terms. Now I see two like terms here, right? Two terms that don't have a variable that I can combine. So I'm going to rewrite my equation here. I'm going to write 2 equals. I'm going to write my variable first, and I'm going to write my two like terms next to each other. And I can do this using the commutative property of addition. Since this is all addition, I can rearrange them however I want. Now that I've rearranged them so that my like terms are next to each other, I'm going to combine them. So 1.3 plus 4 gives me positive 5.3. So now here I have a one-step equation, and I can use the subtraction property of equality to solve it, right? Since I see addition here, right, we have addition right here, I'm going to use subtraction, the inverse operation, to solve. So I'm going to subtract 5.3, subtract 5.3. And this works because 5.3 minus 5.3 is 0. So I'm left with a equals 2 minus 5.3. Now, I'm going to work that out over here. 2 minus 5.3. I can think about that as 2 plus negative 5.3. And these have opposite signs. So what I'm actually going to have to do here is do some subtraction. 5.3 minus 2, we can make that 0.0. That's going to give me 3. There's my decimal. 5 minus 2 is 3. So my answer is going to be negative 3.3. A equals negative 3.3. And that is my answer. Let's try another one. I'm going to draw my line down through the equal sign here to separate my two sides. Now, in this case, I have 11 plus c minus 2. And in order to simplify this, I'm going to rewrite this right side so that it uses only addition. 11 plus c plus negative 2. Now, when I rearrange, I have 5 equals c plus 11 plus negative 2. When I combine like terms, 11 plus negative 2 is going to give me 9, so I have 5 equals c plus 9. Now, this is fully simplified. Okay, on that right side, c plus 9, that's as simple as that's going to get. So now I can use my inverse operation here to solve. Since it says c plus 9, I'm going to want to subtract. That's my inverse operation, minus 9. Now, 9 minus 9 is 0, so we're left with c equals negative 4. And that is our answer. C equals negative 4. In this example, we have a couple negative numbers here. Let's start as we always do. We'll draw our line down through the equal sign, keep our two sides separated. Now, I'm going to want to rewrite this once again using only addition. So I have negative 3.4 plus m plus negative 1.3 equals 6.8. Now we're going to rearrange, as always. We'll put our like terms next to each other. So m plus negative 3.4 plus negative 1.3 equals 6.8. Now, negative 3.4 plus negative 1.3, because those have the same sign, we can just add those together, and we're going to get 7, and we're going to get 4. So 4.7, and that's going to be negative, so it'll be m plus negative 4.7 equals 6.8. Now, I want to make sure I write this left side as simply as possible, and because I have plus negative 4.7, an easier way to write that is m minus 4.7 equals 6.8. And now, this equation is as simple as it gets. M minus 4.7 on the left side. We can use our inverse operation. Because this says minus 4.7, I'm going to add 4.7 to both sides. Plus 4.7. Make sure I write the operation. Now, negative 4.7 plus 4.7, this gives us 0. So we have m equals, that's going to give us 5. We carry the 1. 11.5 is our solution. M equals 11.5. We can also use these types of equations to solve for missing values in geometry problems. For instance, here we have a shape. It has 4 sides. It's called a quadrilateral when it has 4 sides. And we know 3 of the sides, 2.4, 3.1, and 1.8, but we're missing a 4th side. But we know that the perimeter is 12.7. That means if we add up all the sides, all 4 sides, it should equal 12.7. So we can set up an equation that looks something like this. Now, I don't know what that question mark is, so I'm going to use a variable to represent it. We can use x to represent this missing side here. Now, x plus the other 3 sides, plus 2.4, plus 3.1, plus 1.8 gives us the perimeter, 12.7. Now if we're going to solve this equation to find x, we're going to draw our line. Now we're going to need to combine like terms. So I'm going to combine 2.4, 3.1, and 1.8. We're going to add those together. So 2.4 plus 3.1 plus 1.8. Since these are all addition, I can just do them all together. 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 8 is 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and the decimal goes there. So 7.3. So we get x plus 7.3, that's the sum of those 3 sides that we know, equals 12.7. And now, to find x, we're just going to use our inverse operation. We'll subtract 7.3 from both sides. 7.3 minus 7.3 is 0. Get x equals, got to do some subtraction here. 7 minus 3 is 4. The decimal is going to go there. Now we're going to have to borrow from this 1. That's going to become 0. It's going to give us 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. X equals 5.4 is the missing side here. Alright, that's all we're going to do for solving equations tonight. Make sure you submit your notes through Canvas, and I will see you guys tomorrow.